So I don't know what I want to talk about today. So I decided to just give you guys a quick little update on my life or give you my video diary, a quick little update on my life. So far on Monday, I started a new schedule for myself, a very strict schedule where I wake up at 5 in the morning, I go to the gym, and then I go to work. I work 8:30 to 4:30. After that, I study for the CCNA. Well, not only that, but at work, honestly, I need to get better at this because I be on my phone a lot at work. But I need to get better at finishing my work, finishing my mail, and all that, and then immediately going into CCNA studying. But yeah, so I'll study after work until like 6:30 or until 6 o'clock, and then right after that, I'll immediately DoorDash for the rest of my day, and then repeat. And so I've done that 3 days in a row now. This will be the fourth day, except today I decided to take a rest day on the gym so I can kind of catch up on sleep. I got 7 hours tonight instead of like 6 or 5. I got to do better at coming home a little earlier, but there's money to be made, so I'm not too mad at that. So, so yeah, I took a rest day today. I made a cool amount of money because it was raining and stuff. However, all the money that I'm making from my DoorDash and stuff, I'm not gonna touch. Like that's strictly for my motorcycle that I'm getting this summer. Um and I told myself that I'm not gonna check how much I made until I pass the CCNA. So, I prioritize the CCNA, and I'd like to keep it a mystery because, I wouldn't want to check and see that I have enough to buy a bike and like end up feeling like I need to rush the CCNA and all that other stuff. I'm gonna just keep pacing myself and continue where I'm at. So that's what's been going on. The days have been kind of going by fast. I ended up getting some free food today because so it was an Uber Eats order, right? And they originally sent me to pick up at this one Mexican place. And then they gave me a second order, which I had to pick up at Popeyes. So I accepted the order. However, I was still on the way to the Mexican place, not knowing that they originally wanted me to go to Popeyes first instead. So I went to the Mexican place, and then that's when I realized that, they wanted me to go to Popeyes first, and they wouldn't allow me to switch which order I pick up first. So I still picked up the order, and I was like, I'll just go to Popeyes right after, and then pick that up. So then, I have both food orders, and then I can deliver both of them, and we chilling. However, by the time that I picked up the order and was on the way to Popeyes, since they thought I was just lollygagging, they ended up canceling the whole order. So, I ended up getting some free food that I'm gonna eat tomorrow. Tomorrow I should be going bowling with my friends around 9 p.m. So that's cool. But I still am going to remain sober. I have been sober. I would say this weekend is now going to hit me being 3 weeks sober, no weed, no alcohol. And after this weekend, this will be my first week of no video games because I haven't played video games since Sunday, and honestly, I haven't really had time to. I'm having a hard time finding time to make these videos, but I decided to sit down today and talk to you because it helps me out as well. It's nice having someone to talk to at the end of the day. Not saying that I don't have anybody to talk to, but it's kind of like writing in a diary, except I am talking to a camera, which is a video diary. So that's currently where I'm at. Um, I don't have any. Oh, I do have a plan to go biking with my older brother this weekend. Hopefully, I could hit some jumps. My mom asked me to post some of the clips to YouTube. So next time I'll try to record in the horizontal so I can add some clips on Saturday. And then outside of that, I'm just gonna be studying and door dashing. And then Sunday I do have to meal prep, so I need to find a way to bring that into my schedule, as well as making the YouTube videos for my new channel, and then also still got to find time to DoorDash, because the weekends are my real money makers. Like the more money I make, the faster I'll get to my goal. And I do want it to be where, by the time that I pass the CCNA, I check my accounts and I got like a good amount of money. You feel me? Like I'm also going to be saving from my job, but I'm not going to be saving that much because I'm just using my job to pay my bills and, take care of everything else. So I'm not really too concerned about job money. But I do have some money making opportunities with dog sitting as well in the upcoming months. So that will definitely help my case, and I can definitely use more time to study for my CCNA. But I would say I'm pretty proud of where I am currently at. I would say I'm pretty locked in, pretty focused. That little pep talk that I gave to myself a couple of days ago really helped me out. It kind of took some heat off of my chest, but at the same time it applied some pressure to myself, if that makes any sense. So not only was it a release, but it was also a reality check. Rewatching the video and seeing me talk to myself, or watching myself talk to me, however you want to call it. When I rewatched that video, it really settled in for me. And then I just changed like a switch. But, I still got to remain consistent. However, I do want this summer to be a summer that I can really enjoy. This will be my first summer being debt free, and then this will also be my first summer with my bike, so that's going to be very fun. And I just look forward to the future. I look forward to the future. Last year hit me very hard, and I was in some very dark places, but i feel like I feel like the me back in December would be very proud to hear how I'm doing right now. And I feel like the me right now would be very proud to hear how I'm doing in August. I feel like this will be my best birthday yet. My 22nd birthday will be a great birthday. My 21st, it wasn't the greatest. I mean, it was all right, but it was just a lot of stress and, going through a lot of stuff. But this year it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to make sure that it's amazing. That's why I'm working so hard right now, busting my ass, so I can make sure that I'm doing things right. I did ask my parents if I could store my bike in the garage today, and unfortunately, they did say no. So I'm just gonna store it outside. I know it's risky. People could steal it, but fortunate enough, because I plan to park it right behind my car, and right behind my car there's a tree. So I plan to lock it up with a chain, attach it to a tree, and then I'm also gonna get a cover for it, put the cover on. I'm gonna get a locked cover too, so people can't just peek and see what bike it is. But I'm gonna get a locked cover, put that on, and then under the locked cover, I'm going to get bright, sorry, a brake lock, to keep the bike from being able to move. And then I also want to get a tracker, and then I'm also going to get a a brake lock that has an alarm system. So if you slightly even move that jump, it is going to make it's going to sound an alarm that's like 120 decibels, and that's definitely going to wake my mom up, because my mom's a light sleeper, and the bike is going to be literally right outside their room. So, you know, hopefully with all of that in place, it'll be too annoying for some thugs to come and try to pick it up. And plus, it's gonna be an older bike. Like it'll still be a 600, but it's gonna be like a '02 or maybe like a '99. So hopefully nobody's too concerned about those bikes. I would be a lot more concerned if I was getting something that was like 2025 or even something that was like 2015 or something like that. But this is going to be a bike that's either as old as me or older, So hopefully nobody's really interested in that. And then the only big concern is vacations. Either I take the bike on the vacation, or I can hopefully ask one of my friends that has a better driveway if I can leave it over there, or if I can ask my dad if I can leave it over there. It's just I'm still worried about what my dad's gonna say when he finds out that I got a bike. Because my dad, he rides motorcycles himself. Like he doesn't really ride it much anymore, but I do remember when Christian, my older brother, was talking to my dad about getting one, and he was planning pretty much the same thing as me to get a 600. My dad was like, he was like, why are you going to start off with that? Like, get a supermoto or get something slower, which is honestly great advice, but I don't really plan to take it. I do understand that, learning on a lower CC bike is a lot better, but at least I'm not getting a leader bike. And I feel like I'm definitely going to respect the bike and all that stuff. So yeah, I just really don't know what his reaction will be, because I also recently got into an accident, and that's my third accident. And every time I got into one, he would tell me like, imagine what would have happened if you were on a bike. So I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm not too concerned about it. You know, I do think he's probably gonna be like a little frustrated that I didn't say anything to him, but it is what it is. It's my life at the end of the day. I'm grown, and I could choose what I want to do, and this is what I am choosing to do. And so, I just hope for support. But yeah, so I'm about to go to sleep. Um I'm gonna wake up and do chess tomorrow morning, and then it's just the same thing, different day. Literally every day is just gonna be the same thing for the next couple of months, just working, studying, and then eventually I'm gonna be passing my test in April. So then, it'll it'll just be working. But I don't really plan on taking a break. My break will be me working for the Security Plus, because I feel like it's going to be a lot easier than obtaining the CCNA. So that'll be my break. But I am probably going to take like a weekend off or something, just to enjoy making money and not having to study. It's pretty weird, because it's like I really do love tech. I really do, but this IT stuff is really not for me. Like I feel like my true passion is content creation, and I always wanted to be a YouTuber since I was like 10. You know, so that's my real passion. But this is more of a gamble, and right now I'm at a place in my life where I can't really afford to take big risk like that. So I'm taking calculated risk by starting this channel and then starting my reaction channel, and really dedicating my time towards that, as well as me working on my CCNA and still going to my job. And I just pray one day one of my channels will eventually blow up, and I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to do that IT bullshit anymore. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I can just do what I love doing, which is creating content and entertaining people, because that's what I always wanted to do. And I kind of wish that I was more committed to that back when I was younger, in my high school days, because I could have really got somewhere. But we all learn our lessons. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to work in a more saturated environment, because back when I started, not a lot of people wanted to be YouTubers, like you wanting to be a YouTuber, you would get made fun of. You know what I'm saying? But now everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Everybody wants to be a content creator, and be an influencer and post on the Instagram and post on the shorts and all that other stuff. But I consider myself an OG. It's just I didn't commit, but I'm an OG. Like I was in YouTube when Leafy is here was here. Like Killer Keemstar, Drama Alert. Vanos, like Stampy Longhead. All those OG YouTubers. You feel me? Like I was there. I was there. Now it's just new gen stuff like Kai Cenat and all that other stuff. But it is what it is. I just got to work harder, and I'm okay with that. So I hope you guys have been having a good day or a good night, whatever time you're watching this. I do hope that you have a good night or a good rest of your day. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed my little update that I have. Peace.